was interesting. Here's what, in a perfect world, here's what schools should be doing. Throwing infinite lumps of shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Your child should be introduced to every vocation imaginable, literally. From singer of Motley Crue to industrial designer that handles 100% of this industrial design, including the ball bearings and everything. So you show them all this, and then an astute teacher would be like a curator at a museum, and he'd be watching the students, or she, and he'd go, wow, Zach really took to this industrial design thing. And then they keep mining that, and now Zach is off at a tangent. If the kid's 13, 14, and nothing is stuck, all right, we're going to get you a basic trade. And that's it. The end. And you'll be fine. You'll be happy and you'll make money. We'll have employees. I talk to plumbers right now in this day and age. And when I say this day and age, I mean like these months. And they can't get anyone to work for them. And the other time-wasting shit stain about all this is they come to these interviews, they sit down, they're qualified for the job. He says, okay, great, you start Monday. And they don't show up Monday. They only came to the interview because they have to prove that they're trying to find work. All right, hit play. So this would be one of the things that the kids try. And when I say kid, I mean like 12. They make it sound fun with the groovy tunes. Look at that, they're design. Do you have to design the bulb? Can't you just buy that somewhere else? Like, this person has designed 100% of this unit. Like, aren't those wheels already made somewhere else? See, I'm stupid. I was never introduced to this. Like, what a cool program. Obviously, this is sped up, but still. So why aren't my sons being introduced to this? Sure, my daughter too, but I know her. She wouldn't be into this. Isn't that frustrating?
Yeah, because this is like actually productive. Like, this is the same type of muscle that would be worked if you're playing Mario World Builder, for instance. Like,
right, and maybe the popularity in video games is because kids are just not being stimulated in school. So they have to go and they dig up games. There's a demand for games like this because the brains are bored. I'm going to go home and play MLB The Show and actually try some strategies and stuff. And then you take that one talent and you push it like this guy. I was watching this video. I don't think I could have ever done this if I trained for 1,000 hours. So he starts with the talent, which is skateboarding, and then they milk that talent, and that's how you get a world champion. It's not anyone can do this. This is the biggest myth, is that we just don't have enough education and everyone you can be whatever you want to be. No, you can't. You cannot be whoever you want to be. If you don't have a proclivity for if you don't work with your hands, you don't have a proclivity for mathematics, for the way engines work, the way things work, you can never be a mechanic. You're going to suck. This guy has all kinds of talents, including incredible bravery. But look at this jump. Again, they cut it way too short.
Yes.
I need to see him land, like on that little platform. So, in my magic school, that's one of the things you try. And the teacher goes, and you could also have volunteers too. Like one day, a pro skateboarder comes in, and anyone who knows something really well, they can tell who has the sprinkles right away. Like when I was a magazine editor, I'd get a piece and I could just tell that this person knows how to think. Writers know how to give you the story in the opening paragraph, and you almost never see this, by the way. There's just rambling now. Because of the internet, no word limit, people just send you their notes. But you get the concept in the first paragraph. It's like a cold open in a video. And then they colorfully take you through it. I'm talking about plumbers. I'm talking about pro skateboarders. I'm talking about mechanical engineers. They just see the kids, they see what they do, and they can tell right away. That's actually the worst thing about modern Western culture, is the myth that everyone is a blank slate and we're not born anyway. You know, talk to any musician. Their dad is often a musician. It's in their blood. My grandfather, my mother's side, was a painter, and he wasn't really into it. So he would do these incredible paintings. I'll bring him in sometime. And he was also cheap. So he'd have like liquid paper, a crayon, a brush, and some other thing. And then he'd do this beautiful nude or landscape using like these weird paints. And it ended up being a kind of freaky style that he invented. But he didn't have art shows, and he just put them under his bed. But he had thousands of paintings. When he died, I got like this much, and it was nothing. And I remember when I was I'm great at drawing. I could just draw anything right away, especially if I practice. Hence my amazing pancakes. And I remember being a kid, and I've told you this before. I'd say, Mom, I can't do this. How do you draw a horse? You know, what do their legs look like? And she never drew. She wasn't into it. She is now, but she wasn't particularly interested in drawing. And she would just go, oh, they go like this, and their knees go backwards. And she would draw a perfect horse. You know why? Because it was in her. It was in her genetics. It was just there. Genetics is a thing. It's not and Malcolm Gladwell says, well, no, the Beatles are good because they did it for 1,000 hours. No. The Beatles were good. John Lennon and Paul McCartney had the seed there. They took that talent and then they added 1,000 hours to it. If Ryan and I were in a band for 1,000 hours, it would be, I can't take your heart if you can't take my soul. I would maybe add sort of a hardcore screaming element to it. The band would suck. And that's what our horse would look like.
Hell yeah.
So we used to do that. We used to say, what's the boy's talents? And then that became evil. That was that. I mean, we're very anti-education in a way. We don't want people to grow. We want them all to be creatives at an ad agency. That seems to be what everyone has to do. Or some sort of environmental activist. It's not good.
I'm going to take off autofocus, and I'm just going to focus it manually.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, there you go.
Manual focus.
See your nice greasy face.
Hey.
How do we feel about Britney Spears? I saw that the judge said no to the appeal. Now, living in the era of fake news, obviously my first instinct is give her money. But I don't know what she's up to. Is she like walking around naked, leaving her climbing over trees with like a frying pan on her head? I don't know. I don't know what she's been doing. I know she shaved her head a while ago.
What's wrong with that?
And maybe the judge saw how much the dad's giving her, and it's like $300,000 a month. I don't know. So we don't know the details. You can't trust your instincts. I got to say, with the Bill Cosby thing, I am disgusted by my own instincts. I'm not impressed. Because, and I said this to my wife too, when he got out, I was like, it was a different time.
Same here. I was happy that he got out. I still am. And I don't know why. I can't tell you why. It's like a friend.
Well, the right-wing thing is like, they tried to make Me Too a thing, and then when it didn't work on Trump, they went, okay, Me Too's not a thing. Let's not make Bill Cosby rot just because we hate Trump. So they abandoned Me Too, and that was the impetus behind Bill Cosby, but I don't know. It's like Roman Polanski. Like, he fucked a 13-year-old, gave her a pill, but part of me is like, why'd the mother bring her there? I'm never justifying raping children, believe it or not. I'm against that. But, like, everyone knew back then that Bill Cosby was the guy who drugs your drink. And I think there was a lot of culpability with the women who went there, where they sort of went, I'll get a gig out of it. That's what, who's that comedian that's my friend?
Which one?
He's on Red Eye all the time.
Bill Schultz?
No, he hosted it for a while.
Oh, fucking Tom Shalhoub?
Tom Shalhoub. Tom Shalhoub goes, everyone knew that when you go to Bill Cosby, you get drugged and raped. It's like the thing. So when someone's going to audition for Bill Cosby, everyone rolls their eyes and goes, oh, here we go.
Better wear some yoga pants or something. So that way I don't have to find my jeans
But then,
tomorrow.
as my wife pointed out, like 75 women said that happened, and that's bad. So then I was in a unique position I've never been in before, where I was offended by my own beliefs.
You're like,
I
you
was
know
like,
what, McInnes?
Get the fuck out of my house, me. You're okay with 75 women being raped? And then I said to me,
I am, and I'm tired of pretending I'm not. And you think that's okay, don't you?
I'm mortified by my own opinions.
Did you see, he does hey, hey, hey? You saw that?
No.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was a joke.
You know what that is? That's bad adrenaline control. You're so pumped. He meant to just go, hey, hey, hey.
Right.
But his heart's pounding. Went, hey, hey, hey. It reminds me of my buddy was in a band called The Trapped, and they covered Mr. T Experience. Mr. T Experience did a cover of a Sesame Street song called I Look at You and Sing a Song About Up and Down. And his first night with the band, I was there watching him. Come on, you got it. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, doon, doon, doodle, doon. But he was so pumped that he went 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, take it down a notch.
I've done that before, and I don't want to dig any specific memories up because I'll cringe.
Can't give you my heart if I can't take your love. Gotta go, what's up is down and what's down is up. Gotta go around town, gotta know what's going on to the thing that I love. I love you, and you're a real cool chick, but I gotta think about what I'm doing that's up and down. I don't know if you're up or you're down, but hey, that's life, and you seem really cool. I wanna love you, but I got a big heart, and I can't trust you if you take it apart. So I'm just gonna sit here and talk to myself with a bunch of me's that a guy made in post. Up and down, I'm going up and I'm down and I'm up and I'm down.
This song is like kind of better than mine, but it's not
My
mine.
daughter and I
know.
are obsessed. I told you, we were watching the boxing, and in between, like every commercial break, she's like, put it on. I'm like, okay. Can't give you my heart.
Was she laughing?
Can't take your love. No, it was just,
It's just
like
cringing?
No,
Okay.
it was worse than cringing.
Oh, okay. It was just kind of like fascination.
Yeah, it was like when you see those ghetto fights and you're just
like,
watching it laughing. Like you're like, this is garbage and I love it. Pull it up. Pull it up. Can't give you my heart if I can't take your love. And what's up is down, is push comes to shove. You gotta know what you want and want what you do. And I don't know if I love it on you. Highs and lows are going up and down.
That's all that
people
comes
all
up.
around are coming on down. No, I talked to dude. He said he was putting it back up. Ryan Rivera.
Fine.
There we go. Hey man, I want to love you, but I can't love you back, and I know all the stuff we get.
You want the intro? That's a long intro. This is like a 1990s music video. All right, start from the top.
Passing through the day,
Passing through the days.
if anyone saved me now, I see we see the same way.
I can harmonize it.
But I never would have met you, never would have seen your face if I knew that you bring us to this place. No one's wrong.
Shut up.
I'm singing.
No, I'm enjoying the song.
Taking all the time that I can
Taking all the
afford, and I'm
time.
not too sure about your commitment.
Are you a sportscaster?
and I wanna commit.
You're taking all the time to third base.
Take it from the top. If we got so low, should we take it from the top? Take it from the top. Let me know. Gotta tell me so. Should we take it from the top? Take it from the top, or just leave it where we dropped off? Should we take it from the top? Take it from the top, or baby, just stop. Just stop pissing, moaning, barking at me, 'cause you're barking up the wrong
Who is this
tree, and
about?
I'm definitely
I
not
don't
afraid
know.
to let you stay.
I guess-
As a memory,
God?
yeah, the truth of every
No.
moment
God.
that lies far beneath the growth we see.
See, I'm like,
underground,
what?
Buried
What's
well,
going on with those
lie
guys?
The roots under
You know?
the tree, yeah.
It's got a real Ani DeFranco vibe.
Yeah, that was the inspiration.
And If
Your
I
mom's in it?
can't be
These are my
the
little
things
drawings.
When you showed your mom this video, was she like,
that I fell
Ryan is beautiful?
She doesn't speak that
I
way.
know. I don't know why I said that.
This is beautiful.
He's so beautiful.
No, but in this
Did
other
you show your
song-
dad? And you're like, well, Dad, what'd you think? He goes, oh, I didn't watch it. I was so busy. Maybe I'll watch it another time.
Oh, I don't like you.
Oh, I assume there's something wrong with it.
Just my gut feeling says me something wrong with that.
Yeah, everything you do, there's something wrong with. So I'm just gonna err on the side of caution.
Gonna err on the side.
Assume there's something wrong with that. No, really. What did your mom say when you showed her that?
I don't think I've ever showed her that.
Okay.
Like, she just finds my stuff. I don't show her the things. So I sang in this other song for my band. This one song I did the chorus, and my grandmother said, she's like, it sounds like the voice of an angel.
So she's senile.
No, she's fine, Isle.
She's finile. It's like when I confronted those crusties who let their dog shit in in Tompkins Square Park. And I said, because I had just seen the episode where we went up to that couple and the guy had a hat on in the restaurant. He's like, take off your fucking hat.
Yes.
And the guy goes, why? What are you going to do? And he goes, take off your fucking hat. Right? And the guy goes, oh, shit. So then I thought, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And then they didn't pick up their shit. I go pick up your fucking dog shit right now.
Yeah.
And they go, this is in my book. And they go, no. And I go, look at you with your fucking facial tattoos. We all know you got fucked by your dad. That's why you got facial tattoos. Go pick up the shit right now. And they go, what are you going to do? I go, I'm going to fucking stab you. And then I reach in my pocket where I have no knife.
Right.
This was a bluff.
You have a bluff.
And then he pulls out a tire iron from his backpack. And I go, uh-oh.
Raise you one.
I'll take your
knife.
I'll take your non-existent knife and raise you a tire iron. And I'm like, all right, I hope I can block it. And then their stupid dog on a rope, because you know the crusties, they pretend like they're so poor they can't afford a leash. Meanwhile, getting a rope around a dog, that's more complicated than a leash. They're probably get a leash for $1. And then the dog runs away, Pancake. And they both go, Pancake, Pancake, and they go chasing the dog.
Dang.
Thanks, dude. I owe you one. By the way, God...
You thank God and dog. So that's a palindrome thank you right there. This is the scene, by the way. I don't know if I was going to cut you off with this song.
Oh, you found it.
But,
yeah.
That's one of the things.
Not everyone can pull this off.
Its values today, standards are crumbling.
I would have killed his coach to stick around until my kid graduates.
Then let him stay 4 years for Kiara.
Right.
I think he only says it once and then just stands there until the guy gets it.
I'm not gonna fucking repeat myself.
That would be great.
How come I don't have this gravitas?
Take your hat off.
No cuss words.
Excuse me?
They don't sell hot dogs here. They took the bleachers out 2 years ago.
It's my hat. I'll wear it where I want.
Guido Jedi mind trick.
These are not the hats you're looking for. I'm strong enough. You strike me down, then I will be alive.
I'm talking to crusties who got raped by their dad. They have to fight other junkies every night to stay alive. I show up 5'10.5" with wrinkled eyes. I'm drunk and I'm like, I'm gonna stab you, eh? Speaking of God, by the way, I love God. I'm a huge fan of him. Dude, Jesus fucking Christ. Or more specifically, your son. Do you not get jokes? When we said St. Floyd, we were kidding. We were making fun of George Floyd. God took it totally, literally, seriously and fucking blasted this mural with a lightning strike. Dude, what are you, Jordan Peterson? Ever heard of a joke? Chill the fuck out. He is no saint.
True.
We know he's not a saint. That's the joke, dude. Ever heard of irony? Ever heard of sarcasm? Calm the fuck down. We're on your side. We hate him too. He's not literally Saint Floyd. You fucking like a piece. Hey, fucking, you think we fucking really made a mistake, do you?
That's a false idol.
Yeah, it would be if we were serious. God. Whistleblower at Hasbro has approached our old pal, James O'Keefe. And he says they're brainwashing our kids, which is, it's one of our top focuses on the show. Hey, speaking of Pink Floyd, leave our kids alone.
David Johnson. I'm a packaging engineer for Hasbro. They are attempting to covertly push CRT, critical race theory, through branding and messaging through their products.
Explain what we're looking at here.
This is the program developed by the Conscious Kid, which is working with Hasbro to teach children about racial bias at an early age.
By 3 to 6 months, babies are beginning to notice and already express preference by race. By age 3, children are already starting to apply stereotypes. They also may use racist language.
Hold on a sec. If babies are racist, you realize that means it's natural, right? Oops. Oh, to go back to what I was saying about my kids, too. I purposely kept politics out of their lives as much as possible, to the point where my eldest boy, when we lived in Brooklyn, most of his friends were black. He didn't know what black was. He said one day, and I thought this was a very victorious moment for myself, though now I'm not so sure. He said, why do all my friends have black skin? Instead of, why are all my friends black? Pretty good. But I should have been more pro-Trump, and like I do tell them, like I sat my daughter down, I explained Hidden Figures. I sat them both down, I explained Tulsa. I sat them both down, and I explained all of the unarmed blacks shot by cops and what the backgrounds were and how few of them were totally innocent, and how in the totally innocent cases the cops got raked over the coals, and there's actually approximately 0 cases out of millions upon millions of confrontations where an innocent black man was shot by a cop and the cop faced no repercussions.
Intentionally at this age.
This is critical race theory in practice. It's a mainstream ideology now.
I call bullshit on that racist language. I bet a black kid said the N-word because he heard it in a rap song. But there's no way 3-year-olds are going, look at this fucking chink walking in here like they belong. Get the fuck out of here, slant eyes. You don't belong in my daycare. No. I don't trust your stats.
People that I've spoken to about these issues, and I'm trying to explain to them why teaching people to segregate based on race or by gender or by any other inherent characteristic is wrong. If you want your children to be looking at people based on their race, then you are opposing Dr. Martin Luther King's dream. I think that's progress in the truest sense, that we should not be judging each other by the color of our skin.
Isn't it funny how young people, because 1995, Blazing Saddles was normal. We all talked, race wasn't a thing. It started in 95, getting bad. So if you're young, like how old were you in 95?
6.
Oh, so for you, you don't know that this has already been solved.
Yeah,
and you talk about this utopia where race isn't a thing. I lived it.
Yeah.
I lived it for the first 25 years of my life.
It ruled.
A quarter century of race not coming up.
Well, it came up, but it was just in an innocent way, just like your kid did. Like, you know, they're like Jackie Chan. And I was like,
there was no such thing. You didn't think about it. If you walked to an all-white party and there was 3 black people there, no one blinked.
Oh no, it didn't matter like that. But you could still rib around, like you could rib each other.
That's more proof that it's not a thing. It was, the whole country was like a boxing gym.
Yeah, it wasn't important.
Jokes were, you could make racial jokes all the time. Everyone was friends. Everyone was high-fiving. No one fucking thought about it.
It didn't feel heavy at all.
At all.
Unless you made a mama joke. That's some serious shit.
And then you also had Chuck D with KRS-One and the Stop the Violence movement saying, yo, we have to check ourselves. We got to stop the violence, stop killing each other. You don't hear. Now Chuck D has videos of my head blowing up because I'm evil and racist. And when I brought that up with him on Twitter before I was banned, I said, shh, don't talk about terrorism. You're a fucking terrorist with your stupid video blowing up the heads of everyone you hate. That's terrorism. And he said, oh, that was a watermelon, not your head. And he goes, that's probably what you want me to eat, along with some fried chicken. I was like, imagine being almost 60 and still complaining that everyone hates you because of your race. What a baby you are. Can't do that anymore, though, because I'm not on the fucking platform. Anyway, let's hear more from this wonderful man.
Rather by the content of our character and actions. If the next generation of children is allowed to be indoctrinated to believing that racial segregation is a good thing, I don't think it will lead our country to anywhere good. This isn't something I wanted to do. This is something I felt I had to do. This is a hill worth dying on. If I can make one person just step away from this ideology and say, you know what, maybe that's not the way, it's not the path towards a better future, then I think it's worth it. This isn't something I wanted to do. This is something I felt I had to do. This is a hill worth dying on.
Yeah.
He was on Hannity last night.
Whoa.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good shot, Ryan. I want to see more on what Hasbro was up to. Don't you?
Yeah.
Kids are racist at a young age. We need to get them away from that. Okay.
Expose Hasbro, people throwing their toys away. A lot of him. Mandatory CRT that babies trained.
Yeah, let's hear. I want to see them like say black white children shouldn't get a certain toy.
Like the hidden camera footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Or black children should be forced to white children should be forced to play with black Barbies or something like that. And I want some evidence. I'm sure that'll the way James goes with these is he starts out slow with like a nugget, so you go, haha, this is nothing, and then boom, 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 boom. So this story is ongoing. Have you heard of this thing, Birds Aren't Real?
Oh, yeah.
They're drones.
Yeah.
The government killed all the birds. I don't know how you do that. Actually, Mao did that.
He killed all the birds?
Mao didn't like, I think it was sparrows. So or starlings maybe. So he had people go on rooftops and just bang pots and pans and trees with ladders. And so the birds had no place to land, and eventually they died of exhaustion. So go to birdsaren'treal.com. So the hypothesis here is that we killed all the birds, and now they're government drones. I can't tell how ironic these people are being. Now here's the problem with this theory. A perfect working pigeon drone that has never fallen down ever and exposed itself as a computer, I'm going to say is about $800,000 each if it can relay footage. And we all have cameras in our homes, or at least anyone on the right who's a public figure. The images you get back on these $1,000 cameras are grainy, frustrating, especially at night. You see the NYPD blotter where they have pictures. Sometimes, like a bodega, if it's a sunny day out, they'll get the guy and you can see his face perfectly. And he's like, hi, I'm here. Sometimes, if it's dark or anything, it's just like a blob. And it'll be in the New York Post. They'll go, check it out. Have you seen this guy? I don't know. That could be me. But a pigeon in the sky? Imagine the shit images you're getting. Here's some proof, 2-1. They've been pushing this a lot. I would say 50% of the Birds Aren't Real movement are just kidding. This is proof. A seagull riding a seagull. I'm sorry, birds ride other birds all the time.
Really?
Yeah. You know what? A hawk will sometimes get on an eagle to attack him, and what the eagle does is he'll just go so far up that the hawk can't handle it, and he'll fall off and die. That's what they do. So that's not proof. But here's a major problem with the theory. This. Look at the January 6th meandering. They caught everyone. You know why? Because they triangulated their phone. This is likely recording me right now. We have Alexas in our homes recording our every move. We look at our computer with a camera facing us. You'll notice when Zuckerberg shows, when you get to see his computer, he's got Post-it note tape on his camera, preventing you from seeing his camera. I mean, preventing his camera from seeing him. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of black tape there.
I think he's a drone. But
so the government doesn't need to spend money on drones. You have GPS in your car tracking you everywhere you go. I have all these tile things for my keys, my wallet, and my laptop following me everywhere I go. My car has a GPS that's following me everywhere I go. And The Guardian, I cannot believe The Guardian actually did journalism for once. The Guardian has discovered that the Israeli Secret Service has been spying on journalists through their phones, not through overly priced pigeons. Human rights activists, journalists, and lawyers across the world have been targeted by authoritarian governments using hacking software sold by the Israeli surveillance company NSO Group, according to an investigation into a massive data leak. Now, I can support Israel and also say this is fucked up and evil. There was one of the journalists who was surveyed, and he was killed shortly after someone bought this software. So they sold it to someone without, this isn't the CIA or the FBI, not that they're much more ethical. And it was used to track down a Mexican journalist who was then killed, probably by the cartels. The investigation by The Guardian and 16 other media organizations suggests widespread and continuing abuse of NSO's hacking spyware, Pegasus, which the company insists is only intended for use against criminals and terrorists. Pegasus is a malware that infects iPhones and Android devices to enable operators of the tool to extract messages, photos, and emails, record calls, and secretly activate microphones. Why use a bird? So go in that article and see if you can find the Mexican. That was the most disturbing part of the whole thing. A phone number of a freelance Mexican reporter, Cecilio Pineda Berto, was found in the list, apparently of interest to a Mexican client in the weeks leading up to his murder, when his killers were able to locate him at a car wash. His phone has never been found, so no forensic analysis has been possible to establish whether it was infected. They've already got us, folks. Don't you think it's kind of weird? I don't know about you, but I use texts, my normal text, for things like, we need toilet paper, to my wife. Everything else is encrypted apps. And does it feel right to be going through your encrypted apps? Like when you wake up, you're going through all these, I won't say their names, but all these different apps that wipe themselves clean all the time. And you're speaking to your lawyer in emojis. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Doesn't that seem like something you'd do in Russia? One of the few people to get this and be getting good at it, if you will, is fucking Ashton Kutcher. Who knew? He was interviewed recently talking about social media and crack pipe screen culture and totally nailed it beautifully. I was stunned to see this, but I guess himbos can be right occasionally.
Only use technology in public places in the house. So if they want to be on their iPad doing a learning game or whatever that might be, it's only in the living room. They don't get to take technology into their bedrooms. Or into any private space in the house. And then the question of whether or not they're going to go on social media, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. My guess is social media is going to be very different by that point in time.
How do you think it'll be different?
Well, I look at TikTok right now, which is probably the fastest growing social media platform.
By the way, don't wear a skin-colored sweatshirt with your hood down. It looks like a foreskin. You look like a penis with a hat on.
I see a massive regulatory battle on the horizon for a company like TikTok that is powered by ByteDance, which is one of the most powerful AI engines in the world in China.
Yeah.
And I think about if I'm China and I want to create a problem in that area of the world, specifically a naval problem in that area of the world, I in the South China Sea, I would probably want to utilize TikTok in order to influence the minds of Americans in a anti-U.S. propaganda, anti-Taiwanese
Is this
propaganda.
career ending for him?
I don't know. He tried to go after pedophiles before. Remember that? He was trying to crack open the child trafficking stuff too. He's been on top of it for a while.
No one's going to get mad at. But to say that China is infiltrating us via TikTok, and making anti-American propaganda, that's a very conservative thing to say. He's probably got enough money.
Yeah, from that commercial, the pop chip commercial, dude.
It wasn't me.
Yeah.
In order to make any kind of war from the United States extraordinarily unpopular in order to defend the South China Sea.
Yeah, there's all sorts of ways they can manipulate our media and what our people think. That's right.
And I think that most people believe that there is media manipulation happening and misinformation campaigns happening, just not through their sources. And I think that that's wrong. And I think we're about to face a reckoning in that particular domain that is going to probably change what social media looks like in the future, because it's my sense as a fervent American is that it's
Isn't a fervent American the same as a Western chauvinist? Just less countries?
Synonym.
Yeah. Why is that such a sin? This is the most popular president in history, biggest voter turnout ever. Okay, so it'll be bigger than Trump, I assume. We've seen Trump when he goes to Florida or Long Island or in Indiana. It's Rolling Stones in Rio. It's just oceans and oceans of people. So if Biden's better than him, then we should see oceans and oceans and mountains of people. No, it looks like a chick from Sleater Kinney is doing an acoustic set in Portland. It looks like a book reading by, who's that level of author? David Cross. Amber Tamblyn is doing a poetry reading. That's what that looks like to me. But go to 1-3. I think this is a new shirt. We can't keep up with shirt production here. Listen to the fucking
Okay, I mean, you see, no, it works, or or the mom and dad, or the neighbor, or when you go to church, or when you're. I really mean it. There are trusted interlocutors. Think of the people. If your kid wanted to find out whether or not there's a man on the moon or whatever, something, or whether those aliens are here or not. Who are the people they talk to beyond the kids who love talking about it? Are you okay? I mean, you see, no, it works. Or
are you okay?
Or the mom.
Want me to translate that for you?
Good luck, but yes.
We need to start monitoring misinformation, whether it's text, the internet, anywhere, because right now, if kids want to find out about space travel or things that seem controversial or even linked to conspiracy theories, they're going to be getting it from bad sources. So we need to monitor these bad sources to make sure that the information they're getting is true and valid. And then, of course, while we're there, we'll make sure they don't say anything bad about me or any of my globalist plans. Let's see him talk to Don Lemon again. 1-4.
The other question is illogical, and I've heard you speak about it because I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not
we already saw that one. Wait, go down this. He has a whole bunch of them.
Confident that inflation is temporary, but if you're pumping all of this money into the economy, couldn't that add to...
No, look, here's the deal. Moody's today, when a Wall Street firm, not some liberal think tank, said if we pass the other two things I'm trying to get done, we will in fact reduce inflation. Reduce inflation.
Makes sense.
Reduce
Print
inflation.
more money and you reduce inflation.
Good opportunities.
The less value the dollar has, the more value the dollar has. That's Biden logic. Go ahead.
Who in fact are going to be reinvesting.
I want to see the other one.
But folks, the rest of the world's wondering about us. Those of you who travel abroad, not a joke. Not a joke. You asked, when I went to this G7, all the major democracies, I walked in, and I know a lot of them because of my role in the past. And they walk in, and I said, America's back. And they go, I'm serious, heads of state. I give you my word as a Biden. I said, are you really back? I mean, how can we believe you, Joe. But will the country ever get it together? I talked to Xi.
No, they said,
Xi Jinping.
They said, are you really back? Because you're not making any sense. And America is the global laughingstock right now because of this guy. Right or left. Go down to 19 to see one of his peers speak exactly like he does. This is his demographic. This is who relates to him.
It is whether or not we should be in a position where you are. Why can't the
that you do
the experts say we know that this virus is in fact
you could do so you want
it's going to be or excuse me we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved but permanently approved.
You want him to do you so much you could do anything?
It's eerily back to normal, but sometimes it feels like one of those horror movies, like the end of Jaws. They're so unaware of what pussies they sound like. So the meandering reminds you of a shark bigger than this studio that ate. Remember what was in his stomach? It was like a license plate, a kid's leg. Like that's what the insurrectionists are. Everything feels copacetic on the beach, but you wonder if there's anything out there. Doo-doo. 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 Diddly! Ah! A 6-year-old grandma who supports Trump and doesn't think the election was real.
The My Pillow guy.
Tucker Carlson has an opinion. Help! Help!
And the shark,
There he is.
the shark was motivated by Trump, but also planned this out months in advance.
This is, and by the way, Jaws was not worse than 9/11 or the Civil War.
No.
I don't know what the casualties are in Jaws. I'm going to say like 11. Just because it's a funny number?
11.
11! 11! 11! I want to go to the 11th floor. 11! Can never hear that number the same. That was rarely seen footage of the January 6th insurrection.
Yeah, actually, that was pretty bad.
That was bad, by the way. I'm not going to deny it. A giant fucking shark crawling up on your boat and eating your legs. We don't advocate that.
No.
Go lower. Ginger Gibson, a fantastically huge pussy, I'm hoping is a woman or a gay, a politics editor at NBC News, has covered natural disasters and murder scenes. But this was different. That day, we weren't just observers. We were one of the targets, she said. Oh, thank God it's a woman. Ooh. A lot of us reporters are having a tough time with that. This reminds me of an Adrian Tomine New Yorker cover for some reason.
What does that remind you of?
Oof. That reminds me of Last Call. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. All right. Do you have Coke?
Do you have a way to get it into your skull? Because your nose seems sealed.
I'm going to have to use a key to pour Coke into your butthole. But let's go back to your place. Ginge. Keep going, though. There's more. Like, it's one thing to be a pussy. I'm a pussy about a lot of stuff. But to proudly talk about it. I'm sparring with Huey on Thursday, and he doesn't drink, and he's not going to be hungover, and I know I'm going to get a headache, and I know my forehead's going to be tender after. And then expect sympathy? Keep going down. I'm still not sleeping like I used to, even to this day, said PBS NewsHour correspondent Lisa Desjardins. I became kind of an insomniac, to be totally honest. I mean, keep going. It's gold. It's my office, the building I love most in the fucking world. I used to call the Capitol my girlfriend. I've devoted 15 years of my goddamn life to that building, said freelance reporter Matt Pussyface, choking up. Choking up.
Oh my God.
Now, I don't want to be there. Okay, we have to look up this guy. Matt Laszlo. Dude, do you have a dad? We got to get Matt Laszlo's dad on the show and just say, so how are you feeling about this particular quote? And how would your dead dad feel knowing his grandson said that the Capitol was the building he loved most in the quote-unquote fucking world, called it his girlfriend, and then started crying to Vice News, saying he doesn't want to be at his job anymore because the guy with buffalo fucking horns meandered. Yeah. Yeah. You're a failure, Matt. Your grandfather died early. You know why? He died of shame. His legacy is you and your stupid fucking face.
You and your Tarantino skull.
With those kind of guys, I honestly, I feel like a homo because I look at them and I go, please be gay, please be gay. Like I want them off the books. If he's gay, then I'm not here to criticize him. He's obviously low T, whatever. But don't be one of us, please.
Whoa. Did he get stung by a bee? Oh my God.
Oh God.
January 6th was worse than my bee stinging incident that happened 2 hours before this picture was taken.
You know what? His face looks like you were in a car accident and you lost your face, and they said, we have some good news and some bad news. We can rebuild your face, but we're going to have to use your bag. And you're like, okay, whatever works. Any more pics of Matt?
Oh, yeah.
He looks so insecure in that photo, too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, we're driving pretty fast. And the dog doesn't have a seatbelt. He could go right through the windshield.
What? Nothing says call your therapist like a House floor debate about the insurrection you were trapped in, as some people who gave you personal threats overran the Capitol Council.
Personal death threats. Yeah, right. The personal death threat was like, fuck you. You, I hope you fucking die. Not like, Matt Laszlo, we saw you at Trader Joe's on Thursday. We're going to fucking kill you at 32 Claremont Lane. Oh, what's happening here? He's growing plants?
What?
Look at his tattoo! Ah! What is that? Maybe he's dumb. You know what I mean?
What is that? Chester?
Zoom in on that.
Let's see.
Hey, I let some weeds grow. Now I want to eat them. What is Oh, imagine the story behind that. It was a sketch I did at a party with my friend Jen, who is like my fucking soulmate, I swear to God. And we were talking about a dystopian future where only the strong would survive and all the Trumpers would die, and it would be up and to the right.
Our port garden is
sort of like a woke Wakanda. And I made it a tattoo. All right. Let's see a couple more. I'm worried my...
Of him?
Alcohol intake is making me go on this. No, I want to see more like how scared they are. My fucking girlfriend!
Wait, he's the gay that says my girlfriend. Oh, so he's a straight.
He's straight, yeah.
Whoa. That's a weird
Maybe it was
type
like
of
a joke girlfriend, like my work wife.
My girlfriend, like that?
Yeah. I was like, hey, girlfriend. Yes, queen. Oh, my God. It keeps going. So
there's a lot more. Wow.
Okay, we'll see how long we can last.
Here we go.
I do remember just feeling unsafe in my house, said Wasson. It occurred to me, like, I wonder if some protesters could show up at my home. Yeah, they really give a shit about you, Wasson. I was trying to assess whether there was actually any danger to me and my family. Your family. Yeah. You want to talk about danger to people? Try being on the right, We are the ones getting attacked in the streets. We are the ones who can't show pictures of our kids. No one gives a fuck about you, you loser. Keep going down. The next day, I was so angry. So angry. That made the headline. Said congressional reporting veteran John Bresham. Anyone who doesn't want to come up here again, I don't blame them at all. Even a little bit. One iota. They all talk like little kids.
Not even one bit.
Not even one grain of sand.
When the Capitol riot happened, I was 34 and a half.
Read our full story. Yeah, that's the whole dang thing.
We already did. And of course, our favorite frothing at the mouth liberal Amy Siskind, my neighbor, is still pushing for Proud Boys to pay. They must pay for the insurrection. Kind of surprising that the Proud Boys haven't been classified as a domestic terrorism organization. Okay, Amy, what about the Moors? What about Antifa? And then final story, Capitol cop Michael Bird, I believe his name is an incompetent boob. And that Antifa dude said, jump, get in there. She jumped in, which was stupid. And she got too close to Ted Pence. And this fucking trigger-happy moron shot her dead. And we find out that this guy has a long history of being totally incompetent because he's an affirmative action hire. Mike Bird was hired because he's black.
Mark Bird.
He dresses like a fucking idiot. He dresses like Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah, with the matching tie and the big old
he's like a
pocket square.
When you're Secret Service, don't have an elaborate floral pocket square with a matching tie. But there's all kinds of stories of him leaving his service weapon in the bathroom. He's got a laundry list of incompetence. And he got Ashley Babbitt killed. So when you were saying the death toll wasn't quite so bad at the meandering, you're talking about Ashley Babbitt. Because the cops were not killed there, I'm afraid.
They don't even show his picture in this article. This guy's...
No, you got to Google image him.
Successfully hidden off the internet, for the most part.
Well, you don't have to Google image.
And you saw the Legos thing, right?
Yeah.
They made
I
a
didn't
big
mention
thing
it. It's on my notes, but yeah. They caught someone with one of the meanderers. They went to his house, and while going through his shit, they caught him with a Lego of the Capitol building and a bunch of other buildings. So what's your point there, you dunces? He's planning what entrance to go into? That's like their model when they're doing their plan with the blueprints.
Wait, and then
Lego.
A while ago, right, January 9th, fake Capitol invasion Lego set goes viral. Oh no, that's that Lego set that they memed.
Oh yeah.
But
yes, right.
That's that, and ages 6+. So, and they have Capitol invasion on there. So.
Okay. This was interesting. Here's what, in a perfect world, here's what schools should be doing: throwing infinite lumps of shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Your child should be introduced to every vocation imaginable, literally, from singer of Motley Crue to industrial designer that handles 100% of this industrial design, including the ball bearings and everything. So you show them all this, and then an astute teacher would be like a curator at a museum, and he'd be watching the students, or she, and he'd go, wow, Zach really took to this industrial design thing. And then they keep mining that, and now Zach is off at a tangent. If the kid's 13, 14, and nothing is stuck, all right, we're going to get you a basic trade. And that's it. The end. And you'll be fine. You'll be happy and you'll make money. We'll have employees. I talk to plumbers right now in this day and age. And when I say this day and age, I mean like these months. And they can't get anyone to work for them. And the other time-wasting shit stain about all this is they come to these interviews, they sit down, they're qualified for the job. He says, okay, great, you start Monday. And they don't show up Monday. They only came to the interview because they have to prove that they're trying to find work. All right, hit play. So this would be one of the things that the kids try. And when I say kid, I mean like 12. sound fun with the groovy tunes. Look at that. They're design. Do you have to design the bulb? Can't you just buy that somewhere else? Like, this person has designed 100% of this unit. Like, aren't those wheels already made somewhere else? See, I'm stupid. I was never introduced to this. Like, what a cool program. Obviously, this is sped up, but still. So why aren't my my sons being introduced to this? Sure, my daughter too, but I know her. She wouldn't be into this. Isn't that frustrating?
Yeah, because this is like actually productive. Like, this is the same type of muscle that would be worked if you're playing Mario World Builder, for instance. Like,
right, and maybe the popularity in video games is because kids are just not being stimulated in school. So they have to go and they dig up games. There's a demand for games like this because the brains are bored. I'm going to go home and play MLB The Show and actually try some strategies and stuff. And then you take that one talent and you push it and push it. Like this guy. I was watching this video. I don't think I could have ever done this if I trained for 1,000 hours. So he starts with the talent, which is skateboarding, and then they milk that talent, and that's how you get a world champion. It's not anyone can do this. This is the biggest myth, is that we just don't have enough education and everyone can be, you can be whatever you want to be. No, you can't. You cannot be whoever you want to be. If you don't have a proclivity for if you don't work with your hands, you don't have a proclivity for mathematics, for the way engines work, the way things work, you can never be a mechanic. You're going to suck. This guy has all kinds of talents, including incredible bravery. But look at this jump. Again, they cut it way too short.
Yes.
I need to see him land, like on that little platform. So, in my magic school, that's one of the things you try. And the teacher goes, and you could also have volunteers too. Like one day, a pro skateboarder comes in, and anyone who knows something really well, they can tell who has the sprinkles right away. Like when I was a magazine editor, I'd get a piece and I could just tell that this person knows how to think. Writers know how to give you the story in the opening paragraph, and you almost never see this, by the way. There's just rambling now. Because of the internet, no word limit, people just send you their notes. But you get the concept in the first paragraph. It's like a cold open in a video. And then they colorfully take you through it. I'm talking about plumbers. I'm talking about pro skateboarders. I'm talking about mechanical engineers. They just see the kids, they see what they do, and they can tell right away. That's actually the worst thing about modern Western culture, is the myth that everyone is a blank slate and we're not born anyway. You know, talk to any musician. Their dad is often a musician. It's in their blood. My grandfather, my mother's side, was a painter, and he wasn't really into it, so he would do these incredible paintings. I'll bring him in sometime. And he was also cheap. So he'd have like liquid paper, a crayon, a brush, and some other thing. And then he'd do this beautiful nude or landscape using like these weird paints. And it ended up being a kind of freaky style that he invented. But he didn't have art shows, and he just put them under his bed. But he had thousands of paintings. When he died, I got like this much, and it was nothing. And I remember when I was I'm great at drawing. I could just draw anything right away, especially if I practice. Hence my amazing pancakes. And I remember being a kid, and I've told you this before, I'd say, Mom, I can't do this. How do you draw a horse? You know, what do their legs look like? And she never drew. She wasn't into it. She is now, but she wasn't particularly interested in drawing. And she would just go, they go like this, and their knees go backwards, and she would draw a perfect horse. You know why? Because it was in her. It was in her genetics. It was just there. Genetics is a thing. It's not and Malcolm Gladwell says, well, no, the Beatles are good because they did it for 1,000 hours. No. The Beatles were good. John Lennon and Paul McCartney had the seed there. They took that talent and then they added 1,000 hours to it. If Ryan and I were in a band for 1,000 hours, it would be, I can't take your heart if you can't take my soul. I would maybe add sort of a hardcore screaming element to it. The band would suck. And that's what our horse would look like.
Hell yeah.
So we used to do that. We used to say, what's the boy's talents? And then that became evil. That was that. I mean, we're very anti-education in a way. We don't want people to grow. We want them all to be creatives at an ad agency. That seems to be what everyone has to do. Or some sort of environmental activist. It's not good. And then we had a letter today where someone goes, you want to see a punchable face? Check out this guy. So jump down to 20. And this guy makes useless inventions. And I saw his face and I was like, yeah, I can see the punchability there. But then I got lost looking at what he does, and he makes unnecessary inventions, which the Japanese have always called chindagu. Oh, look, he put himself as one of the other people watching this. This is an oscillating TV stand, so you don't have to worry about where you're sitting. Everyone gets a good view of what's going on. And what struck me about all of these inventions is the incredible quality. Like, I was always a fan of the Japanese version, chindagu, which means useless machine. That's 2-1. I had like a little coffee table book of them. They're really funny, and they're really good. Like, look at the quality there. That guy's capturing rainwater. That guy's tie is an umbrella. That woman can constantly blow her nose. But nothing looks cheap, you know? Like those eye drop holder things. You don't see the glue. Like, look at all of these. Well, that one's just easy to make fake, right? It's just, actually, I don't know if it is. But look at the butter hand. So that's for putting butter on your corn on the cob. Funny joke, right? But fuck the joke. Look at the quality of all the seams and everything in the holder. And then look at the butter holder. The opening for the butter holder. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, there's zero flaws. It looks like something you bought, which of course makes the joke 80% better.
No matter what your technique is, get the job done this summer when you use the Cobb Quickie. My newest invention here.
It's funny, it doesn't make his face punchable anymore. Can someone explain to me what's going on here? Like, go back up a bit. Stop. See the thing he's holding in his hand with his sweatshirt and the string? Is that a no? The sweatshirt and the string? Is that a 3D printer he has?
Anybody else hate when their hoodie strings are completely uneven like this? I cannot stand it, and that's why I invented these. This little device uses magnets, and all you have to do is put one on the inside of your shirt and magnetically attach it, and then do the same on the other side. Slide your hoodie strings into it and pull up, and now the strings on your hoodie will always be the same exact length. Does anybody else hate when their hoodie strings...
Like, what's going on? If you're going to make a prototype, I think you have to make 1,500 of it. So to make these cool plastic things, he must have a 3D printer, and then he beautifully sends... Here, go to the one where he's driving and he gets fresh air. Like, that thing is beautiful. And it gives the joke the vehicle it needs. Whoa, what's happening to the screen now? Yeah, that thing. Look at that. The different colors and everything.
The simplest way to get a dose of fresh air while driving down the road. This never before seen
device. I kind of want that. Sometimes these are so good that they're good.
They sell them online. They have a bunch of them for sale.
The ballistic netting will ensure that no
really?
Yeah.
ever enter your
so
vehicle while
that explains the 1,500 thing, because he is making 1,500 of them. And then it becomes like a fun joke present. Oh, that explains it all. Like, if the oscillating TV thing is for sale, it's probably like $60. Go to his site. Has he got like a thing to sell them? Because in that case, everything makes sense now. Now he's sending drawings to China. They're sending back a prototype, and he's saying, yes. Merch. Would it be under merch? Oh, yeah.
Sold out. The jigsaw puzzle coffee table.
Cool.
It's keep going. It's already sold out. The snack mingo, of course. You have a floating snack bag.
Oh, this is
for $20.
Okay, we finally figured it out live on the show. Flippin' mittens.
Pizza holder, of course.
Zucker rug.
The baguette pack. Oh, vote from home booth. That's cool.
The unnecessary.
This is 3D printed, for sure. The other things, like, you can't 3D print that, so, like, some work went into that.
Yeah. Okay, we get it now. Fun stuff.
This is gonna piss you off. You ever be gaming and you have some snacks, but you don't want to get your hands all dirty?
Yeah, all the time.
There's this thing that attaches to your fingers. It's called Snacktive.
Well, you do that. You lay out your snacks on like a napkin.
I like that. This is real. This is not a useless invention. Ugh. So you never get your stuff greasy.
What a world we're living in.
Are you happy about that?
No. You know what else I'm not happy about? Everywhere I look now in the burbs, it's kids on battery-powered things. Bicycles, battery-powered bicycles, battery-powered skateboards. You see way more battery-powered skateboards than actual skateboards. The idea of someone pushing, you don't really see that anymore. Or those wheels. It's just a wheel with the thing on either side. They're always riding those around, and they're always on their fucking phones. Riding their electric bikes on their phones. That's not a childhood.
It's pathetic. I'm a biker.